Here's how my client went from getting thousands of spam form entries on their Webflow website to zero within 30 minutes of applying this automation. And you can do the same. If you have a Webflow form, you know what I mean. Spam start pouring in, you lose potential leads, and follow-up becomes a nightmare. And in worst cases, you completely start ignoring the form submission because you just assume it's fake. So instead, do this. Say you have multiple forms on your Webflow website, and whenever someone submits a form, that data goes to our make.com automation. And that is our trigger. So once the automation is triggered, it will check if the email is valid or not. If the email is valid, then the AI will read the message from the form and analyze it. After analyzing the message, if a person is trying to sell you anything, it will just save it in a spam sheet. But if it's a genuine inquiry, it will save it in a lead spreadsheet and send a confirmation email that, hey, we received your email and we will get back to you within 24 hours. And that is how the entire automation works. If you want, you can further advance this automation. For example, you can add this list to your newsletter, or you can notify a team member on Slack. So that is how the entire automation works. And now I'm going to show you how to build this automation on make.com. Quick thing before we build this automation, you can download this exact automation file so you don't have to build everything from scratch. Once you have the blueprint, go to your make.com account. If you don't have one, just create one, is quite easy. And once you have the make.com account, click on create scenario. Click on these three dots, select import blueprint, choose file, and select the file you just downloaded, and then hit save. Now you have the entire automation up and running. We just have to make some small changes. Starting with the first module, we have to connect our Webflow to our make.com account. So click on the module, then select create a webhook. Then you can name the webhook whatever you want. Then click on create a connection. Again, you can name the connection whatever you want, and you hit save. So a screen will pop up. You cannot see it, but it is there. You just select your Webflow website and you authorize the app. And once you do that, select your site, and in trigger type, just select form submission and hit save, and hit save again. And now we have configured the first module. Moving on to the next module. This module is going to help us verify the email. For this, I'm using a software called Raccoon Email Verifier. So you go to their website. As you can see, they have a free tier that allows you to verify up to 600 email per month. But if you want more, you can also buy their app on AppSumo for just $79 for lifetime. And this will allow you to verify up to 500 email per day. And you also get a credit of 100K, so you can bulk verify the email. Once you sign in with their free tier, this is how the dashboard will look like. Then you click on API integration on the left hand side. And here you click on create new API key. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to name it test and create a API key. I'm going to copy this API key and go back to my make.com account. Click on verifying email module and select create a connection. And again, you can name the connection whatever you want, and you just paste the API key here and you hit save and hit save again. And now this module will check every email, and if the email is valid, only then it will move forward. Third module is a form router. So if you have multiple forms like I do, you can have different paths for different forms. I am going to show you how to add more routes and add more forms in this automation by the end of the video. So the next thing is we want to make sure we get the correct form name. So for that, you go to your Webflow dashboard, you click on your site settings, you click on forms on the left hand side, and here you will find all the forms that are available on your website. Okay, so make sure you copy the exact form name and go back to your make.com automation. Click here in between these two modules, and you can just update the form name here in the label as well as here. Hit save, and once you do that, it will make sure it will only take this path for this particular form. Moving forward, we have this spam analyzer module. So you click on this module, you create a connection, and here you need to get the API key as well as the organization ID. To get the API key, all you have to do is click on this link. This will take you to the OpenAI platform. If you don't have the account, just sign up, but I do, so I'm gonna sign in. Once you sign in, all you have to do is click on create new secret key, and here you can name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna say make.com and hit create secret key. This will provide you the API key. You just hit copy, go back to your make.com and paste it in the API key. Now to get the organization ID, you click here and you will find the organization ID right here. You can copy this and go back to make.com and paste it here. Hit save. And now we have configured the spam analyzer module. There is one thing to keep in mind. You do need some fund in your OpenAI account. So go back to your account, click on settings, and on the left hand side, click on billing, and you can just add some funds here. $5 to $10 is more than enough for this automation. So just add that to make sure this automation works smoothly. So this particular module is going to help us analyze the spam, and you can edit the prompt here if you want, but it is quite solid. So you just hit save, And moving forward, if it's a genuine lead, it will take this path. But if it's a spam, it will take this path. And now we have to create a spreadsheet and add it to our make.com automation. Okay, so this is my form and there are 9 different fields, and I'm just going to add this field to my Google spreadsheet. So as you can see, I added all 9 fields in my Google spreadsheet header, as well as 2 additional fields. One is status and one is date. And now I'm going to duplicate this sheet and say it's a spam. Just name it as spam. And now I have 2 different sheets. One is going to be my primary leads and one is for my spams. So I'm going to go back to my make.com. I'm going to click on this module and create a connection. And I'm going to sign in with Google. And a screen will pop up now. You just sign in with your main account where you created the spreadsheet. And once you do that, you have to replace the spreadsheet ID. You go back to your spreadsheet and you get the ID from the URL. So you make sure you copy this code from / after the D and before the edit. And once you copy the ID, you make sure to go back to your make.com account and just paste the ID here. Now you scroll down to the sheet name and you make sure you select this correct sheet name and you hit save. And you do the same thing for the spam module. So you just click here, you choose an account, the account you just connected. Again, you paste the same ID here and in sheet name, make sure you select spam this time and you hit save. Okay, now we are going to run the automation to get the remaining field so we can map everything correctly. So I'm going to unlink this module. To unlink this module, I'm just going to right click here and select unlink. And I'm going to delete this form for now. And I'm going to hit run once. And now I'm going to go to my Webflow form and I'm going to submit this form. Once you submitted your Webflow form, you go back to your make.com account and you will find you have some data here. So now we're going to map the data correctly. Okay, first we're going to start with verifying email module. So you click on it. Okay, you click here and this will appear on the left hand side. So you can remove this and make sure you select the correct email. So I'm just going to select this. And once you do that, you just hit save. Next is spam analyzer module. So you click here and you scroll down in the prompt section and in message, you can remove this and select the correct message field from your form. So you just scroll down and you select message or whatever it is in your case and you just hit save. And finally, we are going to click on spreadsheet. Okay, you scroll down and you map the field correctly because my form fields are different than yours. So first of all, you click refresh and this will make sure all the headers from your spreadsheet will appear right here. And let's say for example, let's say the first field is first name. So you can just remove this and on the right hand side, this will appear. You just scroll down and you select first name from your form and you do the same thing for the remaining fields. And once you do that, you just hit save and you do the same thing for the spam as well. And once that is completed, if you want to send a confirmation email to the user that, hey, we receive your email, we will get back to you within 24 hours or whatever time frame you want, you can connect this module to this Gmail module and click on it. Create a connection like you did before. You just click create a connection and you sign in with Google and a screen will pop up. You just sign in with your Gmail account. Once you sign in, you can change the subject line as well as the body. And you can use the form field to personalize the message like I did here. And once you're done making the changes, you just hit save. And that is it. That is how the entire automation works. Now I'm going to show you how to activate it. So to activate the automation, you just go back. You hit save. Make sure you hit save. And you click on this button. And once you do that, now the automation is active. And now I'm going to show you how to add multiple forms to this automation. So you click on this automation and you copy everything after this module and you just copy and paste it. You just drag it down. Then you select this part of the module and you drag it to the router. And now you have 2 different forms. You do have to make a couple of changes. First of all, you click here and you make sure you get the correct form name from the Webflow website. So I'm just going to say form 2 and I'm just going to paste it here. I'm going to save this. So once I save this, I will run this automation and I will fill up a form 2 and that will give me the data that I need in order to properly map these fields. So you do the exact same thing you did here, but with this. And that is how you add multiple forms. And yeah, that is it. If you have any question at all, just leave a comment down below or you can join my community and you can just message me and I'm more than happy to help you out. Thank you for watching.